Hello guys, the DB Grinder here, back at it again with another video and going over some of the regional deck lists from the last weekend. First of all, we can see the Mole House regional, and we can see that Bestial Malice won the tournament. Bestial Malice got second place. Fiendsmith Raziel got top 8, and then we have a bunch of unknowns. But we can go ahead and see that the Fiendsmith Bestial Malice ended up topping is playing a list similar to what we saw like Triv Gaming play, and also what we saw like United Grosses play at regionals leading up to like YCS Vegas. And we can see that the list really hasn't changed that much. They are playing 3 Field Spell. A lot of people were only playing like one of this card, but they decided to up more of it. I can understand playing like more than one of it, especially because like you want your Red Ransom to be able to search again on the opponent's turn for Field Spell for extra follow-up. I don't know if you need 3 of it, but I think 2 of it's like fine, and also it's just like a good starter. Being able to use this to get to Dormouse is like fine. But yeah, other than that, the list really isn't like that crazy. But we are going to start seeing more and more lists like this where they cut like the TB11 and cut down on the Malice names. And then the next regional is the Fortzilla regional. This only had about 160 players in Brazil, but we can see that Malice won, Malice got second. It was really just Malice and Raziel, and then like one pure cash. And then we can see that the Malice list that won is only playing the 5 Bestials, also only playing 1 Druid Worm and triple Baldrake. Baldrake is like a lot better going first, but Druid Worm is a lot better going second. We can also see that there's like 1 Veiler, 2 Nib. They do play cross out on the side, so you know, playing like 1 Veiler is fine. And then Nib was probably just the 40th card based on how I'm looking at their deck list, like their main deck. Then we can see that they're playing Lingaribo in the deck. Their side deck, they have Lancia, backer removal, cross out, thrust, talents, you know, tons of going first cards. We can go at the Cali regional, which was in Colombia. That's kind of weird. It's Cali, but it's in Colombia. This only had about 100 duelists, and we can see that, you know, once again, mainly Malice, you know, some Raziel, and then a Mitsurugi deck. Looking at the Malice deck here, they decided to play 7 Bestials, Shifter in main, Droll in the main, you know, Dominus Impulse, all 3 trap cards, of course. You know, we're playing a pure build. I mean, technically, it's like a Bestial quote-unquote build, but this is really just like pure Malice. We can see no Lingaribo in the deck, plays both of the Nightmares. We can see more and more people playing Nightmare Cerberus in this deck as an out to Chaos Hunter, because Chaos Hunter is, you know, decently popular right now, so having more ways to out that card is nice. We can see that they play Triple Strike, they play the Thrust, no Cross Out. Then we have the Sydney Regional, which was in Australia. It only had 65 players at it, but we do see Odeon win the tournament and get top 8 at the tournament. So looking at the first place list, we can see that they're just playing, you know, 3-3-1 standard, pretty standard ratios. Oh, they're also playing, oh, never mind, they're playing the Verdict of Anubis. Okay, yeah, this card is not standard at all to be playing that. We can see that they play Typhon, yeah, the Link Spider, Silhouette Rabbit. Okay, they're playing 2 Divine Serpent. They're also playing the Duke of Demise, which you can go into a sequence, and that's pretty cool. You can use this to add back, and this can add back, wait, can this add back? It can add back the Last Judge because it's a Fiend. So you're actually able to add back the Last Judge. You can add back Engraver. That's like the normal one to add back with this, but the fact that it can also add back the Last Judge is really cool. And then on to the other top 8 list, we can see that they're playing Fenrir in the deck. They're playing 2 Lord of Heavenly Prison. Oh my gosh, they're playing Karma Cannon, Tyrant's Thrones, Evenly. They're also playing Verdict in the deck. Oh, Tyrant's Thrones is pretty cool in this, huh? Because you can like activate this by tributing 2 of the traps and then just completely lock the opponent out of the game. I guess it also like sorta locks you out of the game too, though. But if you can like get back to your trap cards, you can also negate your own card, right? Oh no, you can't. It only negates the opponent's. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say that'd be pretty cool if you could like turn this off, but I guess realistically, once you make it to where the opponent cannot special summon, like, and you have beat sticks, you just win the game anyways. Lord of Heavenly Prison, this card's honestly pretty popular in this deck because you can go Gallant to search this, and then you can go ahead and set like Iron Wall, Eradicator. You can set just like any floodgate you want from the deck. It literally sets any spell or trap directly from the deck, and then because you have Temple of the Kings, you can activate it right away. So it's really cool that you can just like search like a win condition. We see, you very little hand traps in the deck, evenly in main, draw in main, nib in main, and then no hand traps in the side deck. Next, we have the Mermail list I got top 8. They're playing Droplet, Talent, Small World, the Abyss Sting. They're playing Ash, Perulia, no Fua. Which honestly, a lot of the times when players don't play Fua, I just assume it's because of the price of Fua. Is the reason why they ended up not playing it. We see Ice Jade, triple Minstrel in the deck, triple Poseidra in the deck. Looking at the extra deck, they play the Ice Jade Synchro, the Croc. They don't play any of the other Synchros, which is kind of crazy. They play Stealth Kraken, which is crazy. They have Tanko Sekka, one shifter in the side for crossout. Now we have the Spanish Open, which had about 600 duelists, but it's kind of crazy that we don't have a lot of information on this tournament, though. But we can look at the first place Memento deck list that ended up doing well. We can see that they are playing like the Trihorn in the deck, Too Sleepy. They're only playing 2 Grand Breakout. Not playing any of the extra Goblin Biker stuff in the deck. No Doug. We see Metal Tronus, Droplet, Imperm, Called by Fua. A decent amount of going second cards in the deck. We side deck the Cranium Burst. We have Sanctum, D-Barrier with Thrust. A bunch of Malice Hate, especially because our main deck is just not built for Malice at all. It's mainly just built for like Ryziel. We have Agave Dragon for Time because this deck goes to Time a lot. And then going to the next regional, we have the Santiago regional, which was in Chile. We see that Malice, won the tournament, but, Malice and Mermail both got 2 spots in top 8. Mitsurugi, Fire King, Crystron, and then a Voiceless deck. And looking at the Crystron list, also, this deck is really, 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 really cheap now after the deck got reprinted. So this is a pretty, budget deck overall. What did it say? How much did this deck cost? Only $100? Yeah, I mean, they didn't play, Fua. They didn't play the Charmies in the deck. But still, the fact that you can, play, a competent deck for $100, that's a solid price. That's a solid price for a deck. They played the Terratop in the deck. They played the Title in the deck. They didn't try to play Kashtira cards, no Azamina cards or anything like that either. Just going strictly with the pure build here. They didn't play Turtle in the deck. They played triple Tristaros. Side decking triple Barrier, triple Judgment, Talents Crossout, infinite going first cards on the side. Next, we have the Kissimmee Regional, which I'm pretty sure this is in the Florida state of the United States. We can see that Ryziel did well, Blue Eyes did well, Malice. I don't even know what this is. What is this deck? Oh, just Bestial? Oh, no, okay. That's the Malice Bestial deck. And then Odeon ended up topping also, but we can see that the first place list is playing 45 cards in the deck, playing triple sword. I feel like triple sword should just be standard. I feel like you really want to draw your Ryziel cards every single game. You at least want to have at least one Ryziel card in hand, and drawing sword plus engraver tract is still really solid. It pushes through hand traps very well. Especially because people are very prone to hand trapping sword if you summon this card, so it can also bait the imperm, so that way something like Duo Drive can resolve. We're also seeing a lot of people are still only playing 1 Eclipse Twins. I really am a big fan of 2 of this card, even in the Fiendsmith build. This card is just bonkers. I know Exceton Knight comes up and it's nice to have the utility of this, but I think double Eclipse Twins should just be standard. And I think I'm crazy for never, I played 1 of this at all the YCSs, and I should have played 2 of it. This card's absurd. This card's crazy. They play Crossout in the main, Talents in the main, Called by in the main. All this is becoming more popular, which, honestly, this stuff becoming more popular is going to make the format a little bit more toxic, just because now your opponent, if they win the dice roll, now they're going to have Crossout in their main deck, and that makes it a lot harder to hand trap this deck. And then next, we have, another one of, the Malice, Bestial, Fiendsmith deck list. They're also playing 3 Field Spell in the deck. Nothing crazy here. I just wanted to show that, once again, this deck is topping regionals. And this is the deck that, you need to have your side patterns down against, because this isn't regular Malice, maybe you don't side Chaos Hunter in this matchup because they have stuff like Engraver in the deck, and Engraver just easily deals with something like Chaos Hunter. So, maybe you have to change your siding patterns a little bit, so that way you can accurately hit this deck. Now we can see the Primite Blue Eyes deck. They're playing Synchro Rumble in the deck, so they're going for, like, Crimson Dragon, search this, go for a big combo. They're playing infinite Synchros in the extra deck. We can see in the side deck they have Skill Drain, Thrust, some traps to set off of it. It seems like Thrust plus traps to set is very popular, especially at regionals, which I also think Thrust at regionals is better than it would be at, like, a YCS. Because you're gonna play against more whack decks, so then having like a searchable Harpies is nice, but also because on average the players at regionals are gonna be slightly worse than they will be at like a YCS event. So something like Thrust and the Talons going second is even better at a regional than it would be at a YCS. And also, I guess speaking on that a little bit too, because the players are a little bit worse, your hand traps will have a higher impact because the opponent won't be able to play their cards 100% correctly. Even at a YCS, people typically don't play their cards 100% correctly, but at a regional, people tend to play a little bit worse, which makes your hand traps just have more value overall. So I guess, like, if you hand trap the opponent and then you have, like, Thrust and the Talons, that should be, like, really strong. They also only play 2 Barrel in the deck, probably because they only have 2 of this card. Or maybe they just didn't want, like, too many normal summons. I mean, they have Lordly Load. They play double Drill Beam. Now we have the Philly Regional, which had 700 players at it. Huge regional. We can see that Odeon won it. Rizio was a lot of the top 8. Only 1 Mouse in top 8, a Mermail in top 8, and then a Blue Eyes in top 8. So looking at the Odeon list that got top 8, they're playing Droll, Imperm, Purge, Slayer evenly. So, like half hand traps, half board breakers. Then we can see like the standard Odeon engine in the deck. But they're also, main decking the Statue of Anguish pattern, which I've seen a lot of people not main deck this card. It's not 100% needed in the deck or anything. They also only play 1 Serpent and then 2 Swamp Deities. So I wouldn't say that this is like standard. Their trap ratios are definitely not standard. But the monster ratios and like spell ratios are very standard. Then we can see that they are playing, they got to play like Mirror Logic in the deck. Chaos Angel is solid. It's good with like the Fiendsmith stuff. It's also like an Ultimate Slayer target, which is nice. They play, the Chaos Hunter, Lancia inside. They play Thrust with traps to set. Yeah, I think we're going to keep seeing this Thrust traps to set be more and more popular. Then we see Blue Eyes, which this list is very standard, except for that they play Ultimate Fusion in the deck. Other than that, very standard deck list. Nothing to really say. Oh, I guess they play Druid Swarm in the deck. A lot of people just play 1 Magma Mutt, because Magma Mutt can search out, like, Barrel, and you can, like, seal in the Magma Mutt. A lot of people don't actually play the Druid Swarm in the deck. We can see Ultimate Slayer, Inscription on the side, Judgment on the side. Inscription's becoming more popular, too. This is definitely a card that you gotta, like, look out for. I mean, there's not really much that you can do about it. Like, if the opponent draws it and they activate it, cool. You can't really do anything about it. Like, you're not going to play Delta to stop this card. But, you should at least know what this card does. So that way when your opponent activates it, you're not sitting there reading it. But, with all that being said, the DB Grinder signing off. Peace, have a nice day, stay safe.